So you're here because you want to learn more about APIs. Well, in this series of videos, I will explain what are APIs right from the beginning. My name is Alexandra Martinez. You can call me Alex. Get comfortable and let's get started. Okay, so first of all, what does API mean? API means Application Programming Interface. And that doesn't tell you anything. So let's continue with what is the implementation. The implementation is the body of the API. And this implementation can contain different programming languages. It can be made out of Java, PHP, Python, MuleSoft. So this implementation, how do you call it, or how do you interact with it? Well, you have the implementation, and then you send something into the implementation or the body of the API, and the API or the implementation will return something to you. You say, hey API, what's up? And the API responds, I'm good. And these two little things are called request and response, because you request something to the API and you get a response back from the API. Now, an API can have 4 different parts or aspects to it. It has inputs, operations, outputs, and data types. Now, what are these things? First, we have the inputs. The inputs have basically data or information that we're sending into the API. This is just the first handshake that we do to call the API. We also send into the request the operations. The operations will basically tell the API what we want the API to do with the data that we're sending in the input. Next, we have the outputs, which are part of the response. In the response, the API will give us back some data, and these data are outputs. So you send data with the inputs, and along with some operations that will tell the API exactly what to do with those inputs and what we need to receive from the outputs or the response of the API. And we also have data types. Data types can be numbers, words, files, formats. In this case, I put here some examples like CSV, JSON, and XML. If you're familiar with these terms, cool. If not, don't worry about it. Let's just say that if you send numbers in the input, you may receive numbers in the output. But also, let's say that you send some numbers in the input and you want to receive words or strings in the output. So those are different data types. You can have the same data types in the input or in the output, or even in the implementation itself. Remember how we just said that the implementation can be made out of different programming languages? If all of the implementation was created in Java, then most likely all of the data types that will be used inside of the implementation will be Java objects, Java arrays, collections, strings, booleans, all of that fun stuff. And that's it. So just a quick recap on the beautiful diagram that we just created. We have the implementation, we have a request, and we have a response. We send the request into the implementation or the body of the API, and we receive a response back from it. In the request that we send into the API, we put inputs and operations. This is basically to tell the API or the implementation what to do with the data that we're sending. After the API processes all of this information, it will give us back an output. And remember that the outputs also have data types. So this is just part 1 of the Understanding API series. For now, it's just important that you understand the different aspects or parts that an API can have. Request, response, inputs, outputs, operations, and data types. That's all you need to understand for now. So if you want the written version, remember to go to ProstDev.com/blog and check out the Understanding API post series. Again, my name is Alexandra Martinez. You can call me Alex. I hope this was fun, and see you in the next video. All right, so you're here because you want to learn more about APIs. APIs.